This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
French Open's underway. We're now into that period of the European summer where all the big sporting events head over there. So the Tour de France isn't far away too, Nath. Isn't it watch these events that you normally would never watch in a million years, but I don't know, with an accent, you love the commentary and you see
What are you talking about? I've been watching the Giro d'Italia.
Oh, there we go.
I mean, you know, Italian mountains was not to love.
Yeah.
Well, that's Spanish, but sure.
Yeah.
People, the thing I love about anything like this is people become instant experts.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
100%.
That's it. Straight away,
Yeah.
you know.
It's like when the Olympics are on and you're like, oh, yeah, diving.
Yeah.
Oh, her feet came apart. Like, what do I know?
And there's nothing better when you're watching something that you don't really know too much about and you become an instant expert and then using one of the 3 words you've learnt.
Yeah, that's all. And repeat it.
No goal.
It's a lot of
100%.
Peloton talk.
So
in
Tanasi
cycling.
Kokkinakis won his first match in 8 years at the French Open overnight. So it's a first round victory.
Great.
So US dollars is about 72,000 to kick things off.
Good start.
Not bad, eh? Because if he ends up going through, it times by 2 straight up. And that can kind of get you going for the next part of the year, certainly.
Yeah, for sure.
US dollars, so that's pretty good going. I think the winner takes home about 2.5 million euros. So it's pretty
seem like
good
much.
going. Well, it's
not bad for
long
2
are they
weeks'
there?
work.
2
I
weeks'
know, I
worth?
get that, but
Yeah.
in the scheme of things.
That's euros.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So, yeah.
In the scheme of things, it doesn't seem too big.
4 million.
That's about what the Aussie Open is, isn't it? 4
Yeah. About that amount. In the NBA yesterday, unbelievable stuff. So history says when you're down 3-0 in a finals series, best of 7, so you got to win 4, that you just win. So it's happened 154 times before. Boston Celtics have been down 3-0, right, against Miami. And we talked about Jimmy Butler. I brought his name into the mix a few times. So they seem like they're just going to win. And Miami were able to get over Celtics have now won 3 in a row to draw the series.
Wow.
So no team has won a 7-game series being down 3-0 in 154
This
attempts.
is the America's Cup all over again.
Yeah, it's pretty full on. And the game winner yesterday was an absolute buzzer beater, which shouldn't have happened in the first place because Jimmy Butler shot three free throws to be able to get them in front by 1 point.
Wow.
So it was an unbelievable game. Nath?
Sounds unbelievable.
I know.
I would seek it out on Google, but I know once viewing it, I wouldn't believe it.
You would love to see the finish. And finally, the AFL was the big winner over the weekend because no one tipped a winner for the first day. In particular, there was upsets galore.
All over the joint. The only one that wasn't an upset was West Coast Essendon.
Yep.
I did read an interesting thing about AFL.
Here we go.
It's loosening up, people.
Yeah, so I did not know. Oh, I don't know any of it. But did you know about the fact that if they kick a goal and then the ball hits the flags, the umpire's flags, which are being stored on the goalpost, then that's part of the goal?
Yeah, yes. I don't believe that. I don't like that. And you know, in some grounds, Nathan, well, not all the grounds now because they're probably universal, but the padding, right?
Yes.
It can hit behind or the sticks, as you said, behind.
Yes.
That's over the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is that not weird? Because then
when
you're training football, do you have the umpire's flags there as part of the goal?
No, of course not.
Well, then it's not part of the goal. That's just something that's brought out on game day.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. Oh,
It's
God.
It's a
very
big gap
strange.
between them. Just put it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like make them put it in their back pocket.
It's a story for life, Nat, isn't it?
Or maybe like just a couple of flag holders, like like gun holsters.
Yeah, well, in junior footy, right? Because a lot of the parents then just put the flags down on the ground, right?
Yeah. Put your flag on the ground.
Yeah, just put the ump. Yeah, that hits that. Oh, sorry, hit the flags. Part of the rules.
Did you?
Byline 5.35.
It's a metre and a half past the goal line. What?
Do you know the flag that rule? Did you?
I did know that rule.
And did you know that from day dot? Or was it something you discovered?
No, it's probably something that I was thinking that's a stupid rule for year on year because you see that the ball goes over the line but hits the back of the padding for more so because the sticks are in.
Yeah.
And you think that can't cost you a goal.
Conceivably, that could happen to the post as well. That you kick the ball through at an angle where it hits the back of the post. That's still a behind.
But there's a difference between the post and something hanging off the post that's not usually on the post.
Yeah, so a human is put into the post.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is part of the post because it's there every game. It's not like it
But
changes.
they don't train with the flags.
Yeah, but I mean they
So
could.
train with
There's
the... No,
nothing
that's
stopping
what
them.
that's what I'm talking about.
Training with the flags.
Why
yeah.
wouldn't you train with the flags then if that's part of the post?
Either way, I
millimetres,
totally
so-
see that can be confusing for
I
a lot
think
of
in
people.
training you'd probably just go, don't aim for the post.
No.
But then in the game, you'd also say don't aim for the post, but the flags
Yeah.
are there.
No,
So, anyway.
but the chance of it
Interesting.
happening are very low. But
this
yeah,
could
it's
blow football apart. This could unravel the very fibre of the game.
Or not.
This.
I think it'll be fine.
Oh, that's how excited I get when I see the big Pav.
Look at him.
Absolutely
Good
going
morning.
off. Good to see you, Mav.
Great to be here. Monday morning, how good?
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's been a big morning, though, so far, Pav. We've been having a lot of arguments here in the studio. Firstly, because you've known Shaun for a while and you know how he feels about fruit with savoury food.
Loves it,
And in
doesn't he?
sweet food, as it turns
We'll
out.
not have it anywhere near there. And then we were talking about the idea of apricot chicken, something that a lot of us grew up with, and we can't stand it. We're apparently in the minority, by the way. We chucked it up on our socials and people are loving. The last time I saw it was 60-40 in favour of
Jake,
apricot chicken.
When was the last time you had apricot chicken, though?
It would have been with a lot of protest back when I was in Kalgoorlie.
So 1980 or 1990?
It would have been the 80s.
So you're saying it might have improved since then?
Yeah,
That's what
like
you're
give it a
saying?
go again. Like, I mean, I'm the same. I probably haven't had it since 1985, but I'm keen to probably
And that's when,
try it again.
that's when your parents opened up a dusty tin of
Yes.
apricot syrup.
Apricot nectar, Adrian, and French onion soup.
Well, they do reinvent everything these days.
They
yeah,
do.
that's right.
So do you like apricot chicken?
Oh, I can't remember.
You gotta
back
say
that
yes or
far.
no.
I'm going to say no.
Great.
On the basis of 1985,
Yeah.
85's
Yeah.
evidence, but I would like another crack at it.
Okay.
I mean, a kind of modern version would be like a Moroccan chicken tagine where they use dried apricots and stuff. That's essentially apricot chicken, but classier. isn't it?
Deconstructed. I want to
Yeah.
see deconstructed apricot
Right, so an
chicken.
apricot on one side of the room and a chicken on the other side of the room.
How do you feel about apples in cakes?
Yeah.
Like a stewed apple type in a
Pretty
cake?
strongly.
Four.
Four.
Yeah, it's not a weird thing, Shaun. You're making out like it's the most
Sean-
exotic, weird dessert of all time. and
Shaun
it's
acts
not.
like eating an apple pie would be like eating something on Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Like an apple pie. An
He
apple
thinks that's
pie.
a challenge on I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
I saw my sister actually going to the apple orchard across in Adelaide over the weekend and
Yes.
picking apples with her.
Oh, how wholesome.
I know, with the kids and doing
Yes.
the whole
Yeah.
thing, and then coming home and because it was my nephew's birthday on Friday, and so anyway, I was FaceTiming him, wishing him happy birthday, blah blah. And there's Jess going, oh, by the way, we went and gone, picked some apples, and here it is. And she, pulled down the oven, and she's cooking.
There's a beautiful
I was
apple
like,
pie.
An apple
oh my
pie?
God, like how good are you? Like,
I
that's-
know.
Yeah. I felt inadequate.
Jeez,
parent
you were the
at
lesser
that point.
Pavlich all of a
100%.
sudden.
Yeah, that's right.
No apple pie for Sean.
What about the plums in?
He puts his plums in
careful.
my, he puts his plums in my
careful.
tea, and I always say, no, Sean.
As soon as I said
That is
that,
not
I
a
could see
tea
your
bag.
eyes light up, but you couldn't help yourself.
No, what? Okay, finish it. Plums in.
Cakes and
Who's eating plummy cakes?
No one
Yeah.
eats plummy cakes.
Plum pudding?
plum pudding there. There's
Yeah,
your-
but that's all. I've never heard of anyone eating a plum cake.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Plum cakes. Pav.
I don't
Maybe
care
in your
what you
area.
call it. I'm not eating them.
Did you
You
have
have a question?
You had a question for us?
yeah, so my question for you guys is,
Yes, plums.
well, there's a bit of context here. Is I am 41, and a bunch of my mates have had, a bunch of my mates have had their 40th and various things. And COVID, like a lot of people across the last few years, haven't been able to celebrate it properly. We've
Yes.
got most of us interstate. So a guy in Melbourne who travels a lot, got a young family, two guys in Adelaide. One's got a family and a couple here. We've both got families. So just trying to get together and
Yes.
celebrate
Yes.
finally is a challenging thing. Anyway, I was talking to someone at our son's soccer match on Saturday about this sort of thing. And, we've had the same. And they were saying, we're finally getting away to Indonesia for a bit of a surf trip with my mates. That's going to be good fun. I said, that's great. How long are you going for? He said, 2.5 weeks.
Oh,
I was like, sort of
look at Sean.
your luck.
That's the dream, isn't it,
I was
Sean?
thinking a long weekend was the answer.
Yeah.
So sorry, Pav.
No, but
Does he have one of these wives that you guys talk about?
what do you mean?
I don't know. I know you're telling a story.
No, you're telling that story. And so I was like, that's awesome. Like sort of half your luck. And then I sort of walked away thinking, what's appropriate? What's the appropriate time away? And I know you
For a boys' trip?
well, just so whether it's a girls' trip to celebrate, a birthday or a long weekend, or
good question.
or a
How old are the kids and how many? Because I think that's a factor.
So in this scenario, there's 3 kids basically aged between 6 and 10.
Oh, 2.5 weeks is a long time.
I think that's excessive. Let's say it was a 10-day for a guy's surf trip because that's probably about the right amount.
I think that's too long.
And then probably just sort of three nights for the women.
8 days.
Because the ladies together get out of control.
And they pack 10 days in 3 days, is what you're saying.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And they all get up at each other and just egg each other on just to go absolutely mental. You know.
I think guys left alone for more than 7 days on a guy's trip, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah,
And I
that's
don't know
right.
what that trouble is, but it'd be involving smuggling and ending up naked on an island.
I think you're
Married
right.
to a coconut.
I don't know anyone who get away with 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks seems real. I mean,
It seems a lot.
It's 2 or 3 nights. I mean, like Lauren's got one coming up with her girlfriends at some point. 3 nights, I think it might be. It's like, tick, no worries, that's absolutely fine. 5 or 6 nights a week probably is getting to the
I think that's the
extreme
extent.
amount.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just when he said 2.5 weeks, I just shook his hand and said,
How
well
did he
done.
get that across the line? That's amazing.
I can't believe your wife has passed. That's what I said to him.
I think
No.
as much as you want to get away from everyone, as soon as you're away for an extended period of time, and that's probably more than 3
are
days.
you about to pretend you miss your family?
No, you do. You get all a bit edgy. So 2.5 weeks. I don't know.
Well,
I
and this is
reckon
the
you'd get
thing. So
over it.
either you.
Sean just winked at me.
I get it.
Referring to the missing his family part. And we've got cameras
Never heard
everywhere.
anything
We
And
wanna
we're
see
going to put it on it.
You
We're
will
gonna
never
put it-
see
We
that.
are. We're putting it on
I'm
the World
backing
Wide
you up
Web.
here. I'm with you
We
here,
are.
Shorty. I'm with you on this.
Thank
one.
you, Pav.
Yeah.
What, are you winking too?
Yeah. There's cameras. There's cameras. There's no
everywhere.
winking.
I believe that you would miss your family. I don't believe he would.
I get emotional.
Oh, we believe Pav because we've met your family.
Yeah.
There's no way that's true.
And I mean, that's on them, to be fair. Pav, do you want to talk football?
Oh,
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
I mean, I
what
don't
happened
know if
across
you
the
want
week? Well, a lot of upsets.
There was a
across
lot of
the
upsets.
week. Yeah, I mean,
Tipster's nightmare.
how many did you get?
I got 4.
Fours.
Dave McClung, our boss, who's leading it, leading our competition, got 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yes, back to the pack.
So let's talk about some of the upsets. The Hawks beat the Saints by
Yes.
7 points.
Nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a huge surprise because St Kilda haven't been playing particularly well.
Coming down.
Pav,
No, I
sorry
know,
for
but-
jumping in. But also, you are discovering that the West Coast Eagles are playing teams into form.
Yes.
That's been happening for quite some time. The Giants obviously beat the Cats in
Yeah,
Toby
that's a
Green's.
big one.
That's a huge
A
upset.
giant beat a cat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
think no, a
here
cat
you
would
go.
never beat a
son
giant.
beat a dog.
Some beat a yeah, well, that.
beat a
Well,
dog.
yeah, a hot car, obviously.
Yeah.
That was a big
Who else
result.
beat a
A
lot?
lightning rod beat a tiger.
Oh, I've seen a rods do some amazing things.
A magpie beat a kangaroo.
Not for a while though.
A magpie beat a kangaroo.
A crow beat a lion.
Well, that's big news.
A crow beat a lion.
An anchor beat a demon. How are we going here? And a swan beat a blue. But so yeah, a few upsets, which
And a
was
bomber beat an eagle.
and,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that wasn't enough.
Okay, so from a West Coast Eagles perspective, were there green shoots out of that game, Pav, that you were doing?
Look, a few. They were more competitive, much more
Yes.
competitive. And
Only
they had,
lost by 50.
Yeah, but they had Barris back, Elliot
Shannon
Yeo back,
Hearn.
and Shannon Hearn. They all got through the game, which is probably
Yes.
the first thing. About 80 minutes for Elliot Yeo, 85 or 86 odd minutes for Shannon Hearn. So tick there, but
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, you still lose on your home deck by 50 points. So yes,
And also, people are referring to it as only lost by 50.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
a sad
Nathan,
state of
that-
No, well,
affairs.
that's,
a really good
that's
point.
compared to the week before,
Yeah,
which
but
was
that's
awful,
that's
obviously.
sad, isn't it?
well, it's all
that.
contextual, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. That's
It's better
right.
than 116
Yeah,
points.
it-
But
you're right.
Yeah, they've still got a long way to go. And then what it was, we can say Freo.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Wallilup, after the last 2 weeks, have really hit some form, and a huge win over Nam there at the MCG. Sean, they were fantastic.
What do you think about the tattoo? Are the tattoos back on? The flag mantle tattoos
Flag
back
mantle.
on?
6 and 5. They'll probably be regretting that loss in round 2 to the Kangaroos here at Optus Stadium,
God.
a
Yeah.
controversial one. Look, if they were 7 and 4 at the halfway mark, they'd be licking their lips and really, really pleased. 6 and 5 is a really good outcome after being in a tough position 4 matches ago. But 4 wins in a row, they head to the bye. And you've got Sean Darcy, your man,
Yeah.
who's injured at the
The
moment.
Nova
So
curse
probably
hit
not
again.
not a bad scenario to get a hamstring injury with the bye coming up.
Yeah.
And then only miss a
So I
couple
miss a
weeks after
couple,
that.
yeah.
Why do they keep talking about Darce and Luke Jackson and saying you need to split these two up, keep Luke Jackson and send Darce on his way? What's that about?
Yeah, well, Kane Corns is one person from the East
Yeah.
Coast who
He
likes to
just
make
likes a
bold
headline.
statements.
Yes.
He's saying that both players individually are great
Are
rucks,
great.
and the fact that you've paid Luke Jackson a truckload of money.
Yes.
you wouldn't have 2 ruckmen that you've got on your books as the highest paid players
Max
potentially in the
Gawn, Brodie
competition.
Grundy at Melbourne. Like, come on.
Well,
but
they're saying-
Luke Jackson isn't a ruckman. He's played.
Yes.
But he can play ruck.
But
He's
Pat,
doing
they're
it,
saying
yes.
that his best position
Is
is
ruck.
ruck rather than playing
But
at the
they
home.
don't
Has
Kane
anyone
Lawrence.
asked Luke Jackson or
Yeah.
Justin Longmuir this question?
I know.
I don't see how they're involved.
Why are we asking the two most?
Is this your first day in the media, is it?
Everything's run by Kane Corns, didn't you know?
Exactly. Look, I think. Even on the weekend, Luke Jackson was probably Fremantle's best
Yeah, he
player
was
up
terrific.
until half-time, three-quarter time. He tired a bit because he had to shoulder the ruck burden when Shaun went off.
Yeah.
But his ability to get in and win the ball in around the stoppage as a legitimate ruck rover, the old ruck rover, he was fantastic. He had about 8 or 9 disposals in the first quarter and kept Freo in there where Nam looked like they were going to get away early with some of their plays. So I can see both of them having a 10-year career together. I don't know
I hope you're
why.
right.
You don't think the same?
Well, I'm only thinking it's the money thing.
Yeah,
It's
from
money.
so
Money
free up
for-
some finances.
Well, say, for example, Nathan, when we have Shaun in here, he's saying he's not going anywhere, he's happy here, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But Geelong are one club, because he's from that
Yes.
area,
Yeah.
Who need a
that-
ruckman.
who need a ruckman,
Yeah.
and they will find
So bucket loads of money to
$1 million,
throw at him.
won't they, Pav? They'll throw $1 million at him, you'd think.
Yeah, probably somewhere around that much. Maybe a little less.
How much do we pay him?
Remember that time?
Remember that time I spoke about Nova money? So funny.
It's funny.
So
What's Nova money?
What? I know, exactly. You're here too, aren't you? Welcome, Pav. It's that invisible
seen this one
carrot.
coming.
You can never get to feel it.
No, but it's an interesting topic, Shawnee, because I think Ruckman and Cash and all that kind of stuff and fitting him in the cap. But I mean, both of them are. I think they can work in tandem. And if you think about Jai Amos, what he's doing as a second-year key forward, and Josh Tracy as well, they're very young key forwards, so they do need the extra height and size around them for the next couple of years as they develop. Matthew Taberner missing most of this year has actually become a hindrance in some ways to the team's performance, but it might be a blessing in disguise for someone like Jai and Josh to really understand. There's nothing better than learning against key defenders when you're a young player because you get your pants pulled down a few times. Careful. And
So
Nathan's up for that. Where I sign up.
When's this training on?
game day.
Game day.
No better time to learn against the best is in game, and I think they're getting that opportunity. But what the great thing is, they're actually performing as well.
Oh, yeah. So the midfield action at the weekend was terrific, and everybody chipping in. I just love it. One after the next two was jumping in, being a part of it also. Freo going particularly well. Who was your first opponent, Pat, before I let you go?
Alistair Nicholson, who is so he went on to become the Cricket Association, Players Association boss, and he's now the AFL Coaches Association boss. We run into each other a little bit from time to time. So,
First, what do you mean? First
So
time you
who
ever
was he
played on?
playing for?
Yeah, Pav, yeah.
he was playing for Melbourne. Yeah, so
right.
I went down to the goal square at the Wacker, the old Wacker ground, and stood alongside my childhood idol and Tony Modra. I was in the pocket, Mods was in the goal square, and Alistair
How old are
Nicholson,
you at this point?
18.
Yeah.
And got a couple of kicks early.
Yeah.
Kicked a couple
Yeah,
of
get
goals.
That
goals.
was a good day. Who was your first?
Who was my first opponent? As Western Bulldogs player, I think it might have been Scotty West.
he was handy player.
Is he doing well now?
Yeah, well, he was a champion of the game. He played like 300-something games, yeah. But
Who was
we
your
went on the
first,
field.
Nathan?
He was in a boxing ring in college.
That's not a joke.
I'm not joking. Ask Mike McGowan, he knows
He
all
knows
about
the full
it.
story.
Hasn't slept
We went
since.
back to the scene of the crime.
I won't even tell you her name.
Oh!
Clickbait.
Thanks, Pav. Sometimes you
Sorry
wish there were
about that.
questions you didn't ask.
Sean Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.